This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Gamefly. Coming up on Destructoid, Holy Mother of God, we finally have Grand Theft Auto 5 gameplay, and an interesting tidbit on the future of Saints Row. And if you've been holding out for a Zombie U sequel, I've got some bad news for you. All that and more right now on Destructoid.
Welcome to Destructoid. I am Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Happy Tuesday!
You haven't said that in a while, have you?
I know, I haven't. I've been gone, you've been gone.
Yeah, coming and going. We were gone for the 4th of July,
yeah.
More likely the 5th, which we didn't want to go to work for, and we were far away doing things, and I got sunburned.
Now our producer is out, so...
Yeah, Zach and Adam are in Russia right now, and we don't know what to do without them, so here we are. Anyway, luckily we do have some actual awesome, great news, something very solid to talk about. I'm sure a lot of you are well aware of this by now, but this morning, Rockstar Games finally gave us our first proper look at Grand Theft Auto 5 in action with a big, fat, juicy 4-minute video that runs down all of the amazing things that we'll get to do in this game, accompanied with actual gameplay from the video game that you can purchase in 2 months. Honestly, I feel like I'm just wasting breath talking about this video, and I highly recommend everyone just go and watch it for themselves because there is quite a lot to take in. The video is kind of framed as a slick infomercial, almost like a travelogue, and it's actually kind of a nice change from like an awkward developer diary where they're like, well, you can see we can drive a car in the game. It covers the world itself, which, you know, we've seen a bit of, and again, it can be explored as any of the 3 characters who can be switched between at any point, and will actually, the 2 you're not playing as will go about their daily lives when left unattended, so there's kind of a voyeuristic aspect of hopping into a different character and seeing them doing whatever it is they're doing at that point. And then, of course, there are tons of leisure activities. There's golf, there's yoga, there's tennis, there's cycling, there's parasailing, there's diving, there's real estate, bounty hunting, regular hunting. You can play the goddamn stock market. And then, of course, there's actually crime, because it's Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, one thing I didn't fully realize is that the heists in this game can be approached in different ways, and we're given sort of 2 alternative examples of the tactics that can be taken for a jewelry store robbery. One involves gassing the customers and then shooting out the cameras and then kind of walking in there, you know, sneakily. And then there's another one which is loud and stupid and running in and shouting at all the people to take their things.
I like that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, the loud and stupid approach. And then finally we get a very brief glimpse of the game's multiplayer, which looks really insane. But again, I am just rushing through this. Go watch this video. It looks badass. I'm glad that Rockstar finally showed off what the game looks like in action. I'm just mad that we have to wait an entire 2 months to play it for ourselves, and god damn it, I have no idea how we're going to review this thing because it looks huge.
I thought this trailer was so strange. Like, I was telling you, like, before the show, I feel like it's a trailer that's designed to explain to my mom what GTA is. Like, the whole, like, voice of the narrator and stuff, I don't know,
it's just so cool, though.
It felt really out of place, but it's a good trailer, if anything. Like, if you don't know what the game's about, and it explains things very well.
Welcome to video games. It's the 5th one in the series. Anyway.
So moving on, zombie games are something that I have expressed distaste for in some recent years. If you watch this show, I'm sure you know that. Which is why Zombie U came as such a surprise to me. It was actually one of the few zombie games, and really one of the few Wii U games that's kept my attention. Unfortunately, all things must come to an end, unless you're Call of Duty, I guess. And it looks like Zombie U is dead in the water. Ooh. And that is not a pun, because there's no water in that game. It's just dead. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, I love when we get to talk about him. He revealed in a GamesIndustry.biz interview recently that Zombie U wasn't profitable. It wasn't even close to being profitable. And as a result, there are no plans or even desires to create a sequel. Wow, wow. Where are you guys with the sound effects now? Come on, get on it. Anyway, that article goes on to suggest that Zombie U's poor performance on the Wii U is actually the reason that Rayman Legends was delayed in order to become multi-platform, which is not really all too surprising, but also still kind of shitty. EA's Peter Moore also had some not-so-nice things to say about the Wii U. He talked about its lack of robust multiplayer and said that's the reason you won't find many EA games on that system. He said, quote, "The lack of online engagement that we see on the Wii U is troubling. It's so integral to what we do. They're so small, it's hardly worth running the servers. It seems like a box that's out of sync with the future of EA, which is one that gives a real social feel to our games. The Wii U feels like an offline experience right now." Oh. There we go. Too late with the sound effects, guys, although it does seem deserved there.
That's a sick burn. He called it a box.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of boxes, since we're talking about boxes, specifically open world sandbox crime games today, we talked about GTA. That was a segue, sort of, almost, kind of. Anyway, I'm thinking outside the box. We might as well mention a little tidbit about Saints Row, which, as we all know, started out as something of a GTA clone, but has since devolved into something much, much stranger.
Yes.
I'm personally quite fond of how stupid and weird Saints Row has gotten. I know it doesn't sit right with a lot of fans of the series who want something slightly more grounded. They kind of like the whole crime thing, and maybe they don't like it that it's a superhero thing. And I'm sure that those fans will be happy to hear that Volition isn't necessarily opposed to going in a different direction once again. In a recent interview, design director Scott Phillips told Game Reactor, "We are definitely considering Saints Row 4 sort of the end of that saga of this character and the Saints as they are. So if there's any more future Saints Rows, they will probably continue in a different direction." Of course, this is by no means an official announcement of another Saints Row game. We're still waiting on 4 to come out, though given the series' popularity, it doesn't seem very unlikely that we will see another Saints Row sequel at some point. And I do love the crazy over-the-top, stuff about Saints Row 3 and 4, but I'd be open to a change. And I'm not sure where they'd go after 4 anyway, considering that you are a superpowered president of the United States fighting aliens in virtual reality. So, as far as painting yourself into a corner in terms of escalation, I would say they've kind of run out of places to go with that. I mean, though you could always get just completely surreal. Make a
space.
Yeah. Well, they did that in the third one. Anyway,
that's true, I guess.
I'd be down for a Saints Row where everyone's a teenager. I know a lot of people are dying for another bully game, and it seems like Rockstar's more focused on, gritty, serious adult stuff. So who knows? Volition?
Yeah, Rockstar does.
Saints Row Jr.
Yeah,
I'd be into that.
I just hope they don't pare down the silliness too much. That's what I feel like Capcom did with Dead Rising 3. Just totally not interested at all. Speaking of silly games, a couple weeks ago I reviewed Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, which we all sort of expected was going to be the last DLC for Borderlands 2, but it turns out that is not the case. Randy Pitchford appeared on the Nerdist podcast yesterday and revealed that there is, in fact, more content coming. He said, quote, "We are going to do more. We are going to do some other things. I don't have details exactly of it yet, because we're not ready to announce what the other things are. We got more stuff in the hopper that we're planning and getting pretty excited about, so if you're a Borderlands 2 fan, you don't have to be afraid that that's the end of it." Based on how they wrapped things up story-wise with the Tiny Tina campaign, I'm guessing this probably isn't another story campaign, but rather some kind of new character, perhaps, or maybe a new kind of upgrade pack or level cap. I don't know what it is. Either way, it's exciting. I'm never gonna complain about more Borderlands 2, so bring it on, Gearbox. I'm ready for you, Pitchford. You're coming for me this time.
Well, anyway, on that note, let's take a word from our sponsor, and then we'll come back and talk about another thing. GameFly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice from over 8,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at just $15.95 a month, GameFly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. There are no late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. Once you're done playing the game, send it back and GameFly will send you the next available game on your list, or if you really like the game you're playing, simply click Keep It on the GameFly website and the game is yours at a discounted price. GameFly will even mail you the case and manuals free of charge. GameFly members can also play hundreds of PC games for free with their unlimited PC Play plan. That is a hard thing to say.
Yes.
If that sounds like something you might be interested in, then hit up gamefly.com/Destructoid and we will hook you up with a 15-day free trial. Even better, you will help support the show, so go check it out. That is gamefly.com/Destructoid.
Speaking of the show, let's get back to the show, because last week there were some interesting rumors floating around about World of Warcraft possibly introducing in-game microtransactions, which is like a word that causes people to just go into a frenzy. Turns out those rumors were true. Blizzard's community manager, Bashiok, made some comments on the Battle.net forums yesterday in which he revealed that they are currently in the early exploration phase of figuring out how to incorporate an in-game store into World of Warcraft. Obviously, some items like pets and mounts and stuff can already be purchased on their website, but the idea here is that you would be able to buy those items in-game without having to actually exit the game. He also says that there'll be some new kinds of items based on some player feedback they've gotten, like an experience buff that I believe lets you bypass some of the earlier level grinding, which is something that I think prevents a lot of people from starting new characters and stuff, as well as an alternate way to acquire lesser charms of good fortune. There is no word yet on those WoW branded bed pants, but keeping my fingers crossed. I never want to have to leave my computer
Keep on
ever
poop
again.
socking
Yes.
it, I guess.
It's the dream. Anyway, it's still extremely early in the development phase, so don't expect these changes to be made anytime soon. Although when they are ready to be shown off, I believe that Asia is going to be the first place that really gets to test them out. So a lot of people are actually saying that this might sort of be like a foray into free-to-play, which kind of makes sense. I mean, the auction house in Diablo 3 did not work out well at all, but I feel like if they try to put the emphasis more on convenience on this, and rather than like buying a bunch of shit that can just like make you super powerful, then it actually seems like a really good idea. I'm kind of surprised they don't have one already, actually.
Yeah, it's just weird for me to be talking about World of Warcraft.
I know.
In 2013.
Imagine when we're
Still.
doing this in 10 years, we're still going to be talking about that game.
Anyway, that's about all the time we have for today. We will be back here on Friday. Unfortunately, it will not be a live show because, like we said, our producer Zach is currently in Russia, of all goddamn places, but we will still have a show for you. And not to end the show on a down note, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you didn't hear it already, Giant Bomb co-founder Ryan Davis passed away last week at the very young age of 34. Tragically, less than a week after his wedding, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Neither one of us knew him very well, but we'd occasionally run into him at industry events. He was incredibly smart, incredibly funny, and was adored by a lot of people, and he's going to be missed. So that's some really crappy news, and our thoughts and nice feelings go out to everybody who was affected by this. So go hug somebody you care about, call up a friend, and tell them they're great. Life can be really stupid and unpredictable sometimes, but, you know, try and enjoy it. We love you guys.
Sorry to end on a bad note.
We'll have happy news next time.
Have good dreams tonight.